No, we're not at war with Iran, John. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program, and I think the president took decisive action to destroy that program last night.
Vice President J.D. Vance on ABC's This Week reassuring Americans that we are not going to war with Iran. This comes after the U.S. bombed 3 nuclear sites in Iran yesterday, Iran already promising retaliation. Thanks for joining us here at 6:30. I'm Alex Dieterer. The shocking news came down after President Trump had promised he would let negotiations play out for 2 weeks before deciding whether to get the U.S. involved. Trump and his allies are now urging Iran to make peace.
As the president has directed and made clear, this is most certainly not open-ended. It doesn't mean it limits our ability to respond. We will respond if necessary. The most powerful military in the world is postured and prepared to defend our people.
Reactions to the strikes have been pouring in from Kentuckiana politicians. Republican Representative Thomas Massie and Democratic Representative Morgan McGarvey are both decrying the move and calling Trump's actions unconstitutional. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Mitch McConnell and Republican Representative and Senate candidate Andy Barr are both praising Trump for taking action. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester have been in Fort Knox getting reaction today from around the post about the strike, and join us live now. Clarice, what is the general feeling there today?
Well, Alex, there are mixed feelings. People are telling me that they are hearing more drills around the base and that they're seeing that there is some increase in security at the gates, which lead them to believe that they're getting ready for something. Now, there was some confusion around how President Trump was able to make this decision without involving Congress, but a big question for everyone is what this means next for the United States.
Are we going to war, or what's going on at this point? Why are we getting involved in affairs that really don't involve us at this point? That's how I see it.
Why are we even trying to start another war when we just got done with Afghanistan?
Now, I spoke to a man off camera who told me he believes that this was a good decision on Trump's part, and that last person you heard from, Pedro Medina, actually was deployed to Iraq, and he says that he would go back to service in a heartbeat, but he's not so sure that the younger generation entirely feels the same. Live near Fort Knox, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
Thank you, Clarice. President Trump has said the strikes obliterated the 3 facilities and that Iran's nuclear capabilities have been set back years. However, it's still unclear how much damage the facilities actually took. Satellite imagery could determine whether these strikes took out the facility, but experts add the only way to know is to get someone on the ground. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department says it's been evacuating U.S. diplomats and their families who wish to leave the region as tensions rise. Here locally in Kentucky, and it's still sitting in the 90s out there right now, but feels even hotter. This is the first significant heat wave of the year, and that's why we've declared a weather impact alert through Tuesday. Meteorologist Danielle Moss joins us now from the Weather Center to break down this heat wave for us. Danielle.
Alex, one thing for sure, it's going to be hot going forward throughout the first part of this week and really through most of it. Here's a look at our weather impact alert for the extreme heat. It is in effect from now until Tuesday. That's June 24th for that high heat and that humidity. You need to make sure that you're taking it seriously. I know you might be thinking it's already summer, so why do we care? Because this heat is different. It's the first heat wave of the summer. When we talk about extreme heat, it could definitely have some impacts on people who are vulnerable. So you want to make sure that you're hydrating and trying to stay as cool as possible. There are some heat advisories in effect, and it does include all of Kentuckiana this evening, and that also goes until Tuesday at 8 p.m. That heat advisory means that it could feel like 103 degrees during the hottest part of the day. Here's a live look into Louisville Metro this evening. It is absolutely gorgeous outside, but one thing for certain, it is hot. It's currently 93 degrees, but feels like 98 in Louisville. In Bowman, it's 93, but feels like 100. So you see why that heat advisory is in place. Our satellite and radar is keeping us a little bit dry this evening, which is great news for us. At least we're not fighting back those rain showers, but the heat is going to be lasting throughout the night, overnight hours. So if you need a break from that AC, unfortunately, the AC is not going to be getting a break overnight tonight. In fact, at 3 a.m., it's still going to be 78 degrees outside, and that's not factoring in that humidity. More heat on the way for the rest of this week. I have more details on what you can expect coming up in my full forecast.
Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson have officially been transferred to Warren County ahead of their trial. Both men are charged in connection with the death of Crystal Rogers. Brooks Houck has been charged with murder, while Joseph Lawson is charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The trial is scheduled to start next week, and prosecutors have a tall task ahead of them. They have to prove Brooks Houck killed Crystal Rogers without a body or a murder weapon. WHAS11's legal analyst Nick Mudd tells us the prosecution will have to rely on circumstantial evidence.
That's the way you start building a circumstantial case, to say, look, I know we don't know how, and we don't know exactly when, and we don't know exactly what happened, but you build the circumstances around it so that you narrow it down, so at the end of the day that the juries only have a choice of one potential person could have done this.
The trial starts Tuesday, June 24th in Warren County. And remember, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, but we will have a team of journalists taking notes and keeping you updated daily on the WHAS 11 Plus app. Download on your TV and watch for free. New tonight, a fire at a car dealership in Crestwood. Oldham County fire crews responded to the Glen Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram dealership on Veterans Memorial Parkway around 10:15 this morning. The massive fire caused several major roads in the area to be shut down for hours, and smoke could be seen for miles. Right now, it is unclear how the fire started. And we now know the name of the person killed after a car crashed into a home in Bardstown yesterday. 27-year-old Morgan Williamson was a passenger in the car and died from her injuries at a Nelson County hospital. KSP said 25-year-old Jason Wirtz lost control of his car on Stevens Foster Avenue and crashed into a tree before crashing into a house there. Wirtz was flown to University of Louisville Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Kentucky State Police is handling the investigation.